Hi, this is Steve Schwartz with Edward Preston. This is the TradingRoom.com TradeLAB Review for November 21st, 2013. Important that you recognize the purpose of our TradeLAB EDU workshops, IQ Trading Rooms, strictly for educational and instructional purposes. It's not a trading advisory service of any kind and should not be construed as such. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. And I'm with EP right now. EP, I know it's Friday. I know that I was looking at the charts. Pretty quiet today. Yes?
Yeah, definitely a flip-flop from yesterday in terms of the sentiment. Yesterday, you'll recall that we were risk on the entire session, and today it has been conflict for
muted
session. You can see the 4 that I put up over here on the left of the S&P. That's the beginning of tea time at 8 o'clock, and here we are just getting ready to wind up for our 11 o'clock ending. And, you know, look at that. We've been sideways inside of a bull zone, never a test of resistance or support. Back in the London session, same thing. So really quiet. That basically spells out that it's going to minimize the selection of markets that we trade. Taking a look at the counter benchmark would be the treasuries, same thing. And the problem here obviously is that they're both on the same side of the fence. They're both in the bull zone. So we call this conflict. That's the market sentiment. And really what that does is, I don't want to downplay it, it really just eliminates, or not so much eliminates, but it filters down my selection. We'll trade what we call independent and wildcard markets. And a few of those I'm going to pop up here because that's where we traded. We had 3 trades today. We had one in the Canadian dollar futures, silver, and soybeans. In sequence, my first trade today was in silver. And let me widen this out a little bit. This was really right out of the gate. That's 8 o'clock, maybe 8:05 when I bought this market. And I believe I bought it on a 30-minute if I go back in. And yes, I did. This was a real quick one, and this is a 30-minute bar. We were breaking a 30-minute rather a channel, which is a 2-channel. We broke the 7 channel as well. This is in bull territory. This was between 8 and 8:30. This is a 30-minute bar that you're looking at. So this was basically just a recognition of the condition, the sentiment. Silver was one of the leaders this morning. Silver came in today not on the hot list to buy. Actually, ironically, it came in as a hot list to sell. Hence the reason why I wasn't looking for a tremendous run. I took my first target down on this thing, and as you can see here, I ran it up to the 75%. Actually, I took it beyond 50 to the 75% and took about $275 out of a 1 lot. Traded a 1 lot because of the risk that we have in silver, which with margin requirements and just the way that it moves, it's a riskier one to play. The second one we went over to was the Canadian dollar. We traded the news. We had the core CPI out of Canada this morning. This was at 8:30. I think you guys can probably all figure out what this was based off of. Again, trading the news. Canada was in the news. I wanted to find something that I could trade that had Canada associated. Well, how about the futures? So I could have bought the dollar CAD or sold the Canadian futures. You can see the lower channel getting broken. I had a 2-pip stop underneath, or 2-point stop underneath. It got filled, and we had what we call a fast market. Now this is on a 5-minute bar, and you'll see that when that closed and when the next one opened, I was actually getting filled. I had a limit order sitting down here the whole time, thankfully, and I actually had positive slippage. Market actually slipped through my limit, and believe it or not, gave me about 1 point better. Thanks, guys. And then the market shot straight back up, right? That's what we call a knee-jerk reaction. So pinpoint, precision entry. Thank you to the RQ channel. Show me where the probability is for a break low, probability is for a break high. Of course, I could care less about a break high because we are in the bear zone. So we only buy in the bull, sell in the bear. Third trade was a loss. It was in the soybeans. By the way, the Canadian dollar made 170 bucks on a 1 lot. Soybean did a 1 lot as well. Soybeans were actually a leader. They reset at 9:30, opened up, and really I thought this was going to be a real quick one too, like the others, but not the case. Went up, tested, Actually tested the high that we had here earlier, broke it, really looked like we were on our way. Obviously, hindsight, right? You can see where it's at now in live trading. But unfortunately, it stopped me out. So I put a tight stop, conservative stop, right up above the second resistance level. Cut my losses there. Talked about before I went in how this was the smartest area for defense, but I didn't want to risk that much. I was already up 475, something like that, 450 for the day, and didn't want to give it all back. So I went conservative, cut my losses. Looks to be a good thing, but as we talked about, another option, guys, is you can always wait for a pullback. Not necessarily going to get one every time, but I could have waited, woulda, coulda, shoulda, could have waited for a pullback, and then jumped in with the stop down here, and obviously would have taken it to the house. That would have been good for about 350 bucks. So those are the three trades. Didn't have an Einstein trade go live today. Natural gas, we talked about kicking it on. It just didn't kick out with Einstein. Discretionary trading, you definitely would have had a trade there. And the last thing I'll talk about before we roll out is this chart right here does a great job representing longs and shorts. This is the New Zealand dollar since midnight. The London zone is what you see over here, the 2 to 5. Great time to trade. This is with our technology showing a long, showing a short, and then the U.S. session second zone showing a short from 8 to 11. Great week in the lab. We did about 6% for the week. Fantastic. Can't complain. Want to thank everybody for coming in and helping out, spotting, and just being a participant. Going to be a short week next week. We'll be on board Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, Friday. I'll see you guys Monday morning. Thanks for being in the TradeLAB. All right, you guys can see Steve's screen. And I will bow out, making sure Steve's got his audio back on, and he now does. Testing, testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
There
It's
you
11.
go.
It's 11 o'clock. We're going to stay open for about 10 minutes and then close the show. Review the crude oil in terms of the pattern that we recognized. Good work today, EP. Was not an easy day. You came up with a plus what for the day?
For the day, finished up 300, so just about
Good work.
1.25. Yeah.
Great stuff. Good stuff. On a Friday, that's a big win. Really.
All right,
Markets.
bud. Have a good weekend, everybody. I'll catch you guys next week.
All right. Take care.
Radio.